Hello, everybody. I'm sure everybody got the news, and YT may take this down because if he used his name, because all the media all over the world is on there doing lives. So I'm just jumping on like this. Like, hey, look, it's tragic. I feel sorry for the family, but it goes like this: you make your own bed, you lie in it. And I'm just honest. Streams once logically, and he couldn't take that he got defeated. It was about Semitic people. He didn't understand Semitic is a race of people in the Middle East, which includes Palestinians, not just Jewish people. I said being Jewish is a religion, just like Muslims being a religion, Christianity is a religion. Being Semitic, that's the majority of the people that are indigenous to the Middle East. Just like we have black people, we have white people, we have Asian. When you break it down and create a fruit salad like we do here in America, nobody really understands what anything means anymore until it takes somebody with brains to explain. And this man had a serious problem with trans and gay people. And I told him, I said, dude, if you're not in on what they do, why do you care? Why do you concern yourself of what people do in their own bedroom? I don't. I could care less. I'm like, if you're not in on it, don't worry about it. Let these people be happy. You be happy with your life because everybody's different. I don't care if people can say, well, it's not, I don't care if it's normal or not. Look, I got my own sins to answer for when I die. I got enough skeletons in my own closet to answer for than to worry about somebody else. When somebody worries about somebody else, that's because they're trying to cover up their own issues. Ask a psychiatrist. And do I feel sorry for this man getting shot and killed? No. Malcolm, the famous Malcolm X. I didn't particularly like him either and some of his views. But if he were alive today, he would say this one thing: that's chickens coming home to roost. And that's what it is. He made his own bed. He made a lot of trans and gay people in the LGBTQ community angry. It wouldn't surprise me if someone didn't put a bullet in his brain pan. And that was a hell of a shot. And I got to tell you this, and I'm telling everybody, Utah, a lot. You're hearing a bunch of pops. And I thought I blew a tire, and I got on the radio, and the guy says, no, there's just a bunch of hunters hunting elk. It happens in Oregon, all throughout the West. There's a lot of hunting going on. So these people really know how to shoot with a rifle. And I hope they get him, because that's a crime. That's murder. However, for me to feel sorry for this guy, I don't. And when you looked at his banner and his famous saying, prove me wrong, that gunman just proved him wrong. He did it to himself. He had the banner and he'd always do them interviews, prove me wrong. Well, the gunman proved him wrong, didn't he? That's why I say, you make your own bed, you lie in it, just like everybody else. You put yourself in a situation and you run off at the mouth and make a lot of people angry, and yet this man got rich doing what he was doing. Not really a tough job at all to speak in front of a bunch of people. But I mean, yes, he had a lot of logical statements. But the point is, who cares? And who cares now? Me, I was on hundreds of live streams from media all over the place getting on this. And I'm like, okay, now it's back to the Epstein files of Donald Trump. I'm telling you, nobody is going to allow a bunch of distractions, regardless of the magnitude of this one, to get everybody to not think about the Epstein files and Donald Trump. No, 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 no. Not going to let it go. The man's a proven pedophile with a witness named Katie Johnson. Get on YT, put in the search field Katie Johnson, and you'll learn all about her. She gave testimony way back in 2014 when she was 13 years old and lost her virginity to that man. Happy birthday, Ellie. But look, if you're going to be lucky enough to be put on a national stage like he was and propped up and talk trash like that, should have had better security, because whoever that gunman was knew what he was doing. And I would say, yes, it's premeditated. He had a plan. He was going to pop that shot off. And in all shootings like this, because I learned this studying the JFK assassination, the first shot that anybody takes is always going to be the best. The first shot. Anything after that, it's not going to be very good. Your first shot's always going to be the best. And our government wanted to say that Oswald got off 3 shots, and that last shot miraculously hit him in Kennedy in the head, which came from the right front, not the back. And a lot of conspiracy theories tried to explain why it looked like that. No, no, no. He obviously got hit on the right side of his head, and it went out the back. But everybody that's responsible for the JFK coup back in 1963 are all dead now. They might as well go ahead and release the files. But there were a lot of families that benefited from that death. But I have to admit, a lot of these people that confronted him about, that were trans, that confronted him about this, you're trying to argue science with this guy. No, no, no. That's the stupid way to argue. You're going to lose every time. My argument, when I tangled with him a year ago on YouTube on one of his live streams, I had to explain to him what the Semitic people are. I'm glad you're here, Ellie. Ellie, if you're 100% from Lebanon, you're Semitic. You're not white, even though people would think that you're white. If you're from the Middle East, that's the Semitic race. Palestinians are Semitic. The Jewish people that live in Israel are Semitic. Being Jewish is a religion. Being Semitic is a race of people. So if I support the Palestinians, how could I be anti-Semitic? My thought exactly. It dissolves on you. And then I told him, what are you worried about trans and people in the LGBTQ community? Why are you worried about what people do with their lives to be happy? I could care less. I don't impose anything like that on anybody. I'm like, hey, it's what you do, it's what you do. Hey, more power to you. I may not partake or be in on it, but I'm not going to waste my life worrying about what other people do with theirs. Like I said, when I die and face the man, I got my own crap to answer for, and so does everybody else. And nobody is unique in that. We all have to answer for whatever it is that we do in life and what we do to people. When I got more mature, I try to lessen that. That's why I'm non-judgmental. I accept everybody as a friend until they start acting like douchebags. Then I kind of like, okay, I've had enough. But I have no enemies. But this Charlie Kirk thing, hey, he did it to himself. I can care less, really. He made a lot of money for himself and his family doing what he did, and it cost him his life because he ran off at the mouth. All it is a matter of time, and it happened. Pop. And believe me, those people that are indigenous that live out in Utah, oh yeah, they can shoot because they hunt elk all the time. They hunt, and you can't approach elk. You have to shoot for distance, and I'm talking about a long way. I'm not praising the gunman, but I'm telling you, those people out there know how to shoot. And the majority of them, their religion out there is the Book of Mormons. Now, some of them partake by having many wives, and some not so much. But that's why I tell my friends, you don't want to try to go on and find a woman to go on a date with in Utah, because they're all taken by a couple of men. There really aren't really any single women in Utah because they're all swallowed up by just a few men. I don't judge their lifestyle or their religion. They have their beliefs, I have mine. Because I do believe this about Jesus. He didn't come down here to judge people, and he didn't come down here to make people rich. He came down here to lift people up, not tear them down. And I'm not the model Christian, but when it comes to that sort of thing, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to tear people down. I'm not going to judge other people because there's nobody perfect down here. And we all shuffle off of this mortal coil. Nobody, like Red Fox said, nobody ever stays here. If that's true, where's Abraham Lincoln tonight? I'll tell you, he's in a long coffin with that tall hat on. And those hats will never come in style unless you want to take one in the woods and take a shit in it. That's kind of funny there. But that was right. Nobody stays here. Well, I got to end this live stream. I'll talk to you later, guys. Bye bye.